So, hey, I'm Kelly, Director of B2C Marketing here at Captura. I'm here with a bunch of our lab partners and Nicole Lester on our team. Wanted to give everybody a chance to check out our conversation around holiday gift guides, around products, pricing, and preparation for the peak season. We have with us today some of our preferred lab partners from APS Lab, Arklitex, Marco, and Richmond. I'd love if each of you would give yourselves an introduction, tell us who you are, maybe how long you've been in the business, and something special about your lab. Let's get started with Kobe at APS.
Hello, I'm Kobe Lonis. I'm the president of APS Lab. We're out of Cleveland, Tennessee, and we are have been in it for a long time. Really focused on underclass seniors and sports photographers, and yeah, that's in a nutshell.
Awesome. How about Cruz at Arklitex?
Cruz Connor, the owner over here at Arklitex Color Lab. I've been officially working in the business for about 14, 15 years now, but I've been in it since I could walk.
Love that. How about Rick over at Marco Photo Service?
Hi, Rick Casey, Marco Photo Service. I am the president owner, and like APS, we are a volume school, sports, high school, senior lab. And this is my 30th year doing this. So I've been doing it a minute.
That's awesome. And Ginny over at Richmond.
Hey y'all, I am Jenny, Chief Business Development Officer at Richmond Pro Lab. We're in Richmond, Virginia. We are also a high volume lab focusing on underclass sports seniors. And I've been with Richmond and in the industry for a little over 20 years.
Amazing. And Nicole, why don't you introduce yourself as well?
Yeah, my name is Nicole Laster. I'm one of the marketing strategists on our team here at Captura. And I have a hand in building lots of email templates, SMS marketing for all of our studios.
Love it. Well, thank you all for joining us. I'm really excited to talk through some of the ways that studios can prepare for the holiday season and learn more about what you do. So for the agenda, we'll talk through what to sell, products, margins, and pricing, how to prepare and actually test your orders, how to merchandise, and then we'll run through a quick checklist and give any time for Q&A. So what to sell? I think we have great conversations around this last time we talked. When we think holiday products, I think many of us think of ornaments, holiday mugs, maybe a snow globe. These might be popular choices, but are they the right revenue drivers? I'd love to hear from each of our lab partners. What do you recommend selling as top margin drivers this season?
Well, I recommend, obviously, with anything product-wise, obviously we offer everything. All of the labs on this offer all of the novelty style items, but I think you need to lead in with something that is more marginal and less expensive to ship. I think shipping is going to be a big challenge. I mean, it continues to go up year after year. So my suggestion would be to start out with small, more print-related items like units, magnets. Those are going to be your higher marginal items. Obviously, the metal ornaments are going to be something that you could ship in a flat, so they're going to be not as expensive as say, a snow globe or a mug when it comes to shipping, but the product itself is more expensive. So I always tell everyone to lead out trying to sell a picture package or something that is going to be higher margins, and then allow them to order the novelty style items. Some of the more popular ones, we do notebooks, greeting cards, and mugs are very popular. But again, I wouldn't push them to a mug first. I would always push them to a mug after they've ordered, $30 to $35 worth of print or flat items, because that's where your margins are at. So.
I think that's a great call. Any other partners have anything to add to that?
Yeah, because this is a holiday sale thing, what I see is customers need, like Kobe was saying, to make sure you maintain your margins in your products. So, if you need to make a certain dollar amount on a flat print, make sure you're making that same percentage margin on a mug or an ornament. And don't just say, well, I can't sell an ornament for $35. Well, if you need that $10 margin, then you should sell it for $35, because you want to drive them to, you want to make your $10 or whatever you're looking for in margin in every order. So make them expensive, and then have other less expensive things on the price list and let them choose. So yeah, because I see a lot of times on some of the novelty, they don't mark them up. They mark them up just a few dollars, and it never ever makes sense to me. So
yeah, I totally agree with you guys. The margins are going to be obviously the best on flat prints, so we want to direct people to those initial sales, and then have some of those specialty items as an add-on. I would say another thing I like to just kind of personally keep in mind is stuff that's like more useful, stuff that people will, it's popular for a reason, right? Like the drinkware and mouse pads and things like that. It's kind of tried and true items. And also just when family members have forgotten to get something for grandma or auntie, maybe they forgot to buy pictures at the normal fall picture day. So it's a good reminder for folks to buy the pictures maybe they haven't purchased for the season for themselves as well as family members. And you can't go wrong with a frame print. If you're going to give someone a print for Christmas, might as well throw it in a frame. Even if that is going to increase the shipping cost a little bit, you've got a good ready to deliver product that you're going to get to your house or to the parent's house.
Yep, I love that point. That was something I wanted to bring up with you all too, in terms of merchandising, not necessarily holiday items. So your holiday items don't have to just be, again, those sort of like ornaments and snow globes. They could be anything that you want to gift. I think those pop sockets, some of the tumblers, plenty of different even margin ready flat items that aren't necessarily a holiday item, but could be a really great gift for somebody for the season. Do you recommend putting products like puzzles and different things on customers' holiday price sheets as well?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that, if you have enough out there that they have a selection, but not too many things that they get lost in it, that, you've got an opportunity anywhere, because, a magnet cutout may be not at the top of their holiday list, but grandma may love one.
Exactly. Awesome. I'd love to know too, are there any emerging product trends that you're seeing, any new formats or things that are coming out that maybe studios aren't aware of? No, is it the same old in terms of products? I know I went through all of your catalogs to prepare for this call. I myself didn't realize how many cool things were in there. So I highly recommend to studios take a look at all the catalogs for the preferred labs and just see what are maybe some interesting, unique things. I think the jewelry, all of the laser cutout things, like the magnets and this keychain we're showing here, I think the pop sockets, all of that could be really fun. And I don't know that a lot of studios are offering all of these things.
Kelly, I know I don't have any magic bullet to a special product, but we do have a few accounts that have done a good job, utilizing tools within Captura to get to a level of spending, like say $50 or $60, where when they hit that level of spending, it unlocks something that is maybe a better gift idea that's more expensive, that they're not making a huge margin on. But of course, if you get to a $50 to $65 range, offering a mug for an additional $10 or something where they're actually making a few dollars off of that mug, but they're really using the mug or whatever that specialty product is as incentive to going up above what their standard AOV is. It's all about just getting another $10 or $15 out of the parents, and so we do have some that have utilized selling mugs or ornaments at either, the price that they pay just to get them up to that higher amount. And it's worked well for them. So, it's all in being clever, how you build your price list and how you utilize
I love that, Kobe. That's
the tools to average up.
Yeah, that's actually a great call. And like you were saying earlier about putting your print packages first, that's where you're going to make your big margins. I think that's a great way to tie these two together to drive up AOV on those print packages, and then being able to unlock, a discounted mug, or you unlock the ability to buy the mug at a certain point. We have really great tools, to your point, to help you set those offers on your price sheet, as well as merchandising those in the shop. So when you reach the shop, we've got a progress bar saying you're X dollars away from unlocking this special offer. We show you what that offer is. Maybe it's a discounted mug. And then we show you all these additional items that you can add to reach that threshold. So I think that's a great way to pair together some of these maybe more popular but less margin heavy products while driving up that AOV. I love that. Anyone else have any thoughts or comments on products, margin, and pricing before we dive into testing and what the studios need to do next? Awesome. Well, on to the next. I think a really great topic is how to prepare and test. I'm sure plenty of studios are like, great, I've got the things that I want to sell. And maybe they're so busy, they're not really thinking about, okay, well, what do I need to do next to make sure these items come out and look the best that they can? Realistically, what would you recommend in terms of a studio starting to think about their holiday product lineup? When should they be planning, not just when they're promoting, but should they start essentially now thinking about what are they going to sell for the holidays, and when do they need to start getting that in order?
Today. I mean, because we're all getting busy, and the holidays are going to be on us like a flash. I mean, you can just follow the retail stores. I mean, they're 2 months out from whenever a holiday starts, they're putting stuff on the shelves. So, I mean, I think now would be the time to get your holiday promotions set up so that they just automatically fire off on, 2 months from Christmas or whenever you want to set them up to go out. So, because I mean, I know a lot of times it's last minute, Thanksgiving comes and they're into retakes, things are slowing down, and they're like, oh, we should do a holiday promo, and it's never really thought out. Or
Yeah, I can speak to that from the marketing side a little bit. We have experience with people wanting to set up their holiday marketing now along with their initial marketing that we're setting up. And I think that's so great because studios can go ahead and attach their jobs to their holiday marketing at the same time as they're attaching their jobs to the initials. And it's just set up and ready to go for them. They don't have to think about it down the line when they're, maybe a little busier or their, mind is somewhere else. So it's not too early at this time to go ahead and set up holiday marketing if you've got those products in the shop and you know what your plan is going to be, or if you'd like help with your plan, we can go ahead and tackle that now.
Love that. I think something that's really important to keep in mind too is if you're offering a brand new product for the first time, making sure that you actually print a test run essentially of the product. I'd love to hear from the teams. What sort of guides do they have? What resources do you have to make sure that the studio can get the right print template? What should they do to actually run it through your system? Like, what do they need to do to prepare for a brand new item that maybe they're offering for the first time?
like if they're doing a My Design product, probably the biggest, thing I see is they say they should take an 8x10, for example, and they make a My Design 8x10, but then they don't take it all the way through and assign it to an 8x10 lab product. So they throw it out on a price list. They start to get orders, and those orders don't go anywhere because, they think it's self-fulfilled because they never assigned it to their lab product. I've seen that more than once. So.
Yeah, I would say similarly, if you are working with a new lab, it's always really important to just make sure you're mapping to their product guides and specifications, because all of us do offer very similar products as many other labs do. But, like the difference between an 11-ounce mug and a 15-ounce mug is like a big deal when you're making a design template or just, you know, simple stuff like that. So yeah, the sooner you can test things, the better. We have a lot of resources for, you know, sizing for products, things like that. The Captura staff is obviously really great with helping set up and training for that stuff too. But yeah, I think all of us probably have similar guides and specs that we can share with our customers, and we do all very much encourage frequent and early testing as early as you can. We are always happy to test with you, and when you send an order through, if you want it canceled, once we confirm that it's, you know, good or not good, happy to do that. If I know all the pretty much everyone on this call is in the same boat with that kind of stuff. So yeah, just the sooner you can test, the better, and the more thoroughly you can test, the best, I would say.
Any
Yeah,
other? Oh, go ahead.
I think Rick really touched on something. I mean, and I think all of the labs have their tried and true catalog items that are, you know, I wouldn't tell someone you need to test everything, but I would tell any new customers that you test a My Design every single time you do it. Because if you create a new item and you link it to the wrong thing, it can come out wrong. We've had people do it. They think it's an 8x10, but they've linked it as 2 5x7s, or, you know, the My Design is critical to always test that every time you create something new. Once it's there and you've tested it, it'll always be right. But anytime you create something new, you've got to make sure to test it every time.
Love it. So test early, test often. Any other thoughts on preparing or testing or anything we want to talk about before we dive into some of the merchandising pieces?
I mean, the one thing that I see is, I mean, I know some people like to do My Design, but I would encourage them to use their lab design teams too, to, you know, save them time, because we have many products that we can design, and we have a staff. If they have a special need, use your lab resources for your designs. So, because many of us have professional artists on staff. So
that is a great call out, Rick. Awesome. And then off to merchandising, timing, shipping, marketing, that sort of stuff. So once a product is tested and ready, how early do you recommend studios start actively promoting these products?
I think it depends on what their cadence is throughout the school year. You know, I mean, if you are wanting to promote something holiday related, I wouldn't promote it until you've already sold or given them an opportunity to buy regular fall pictures. So, I mean, it all depends on when do you photograph the school and how do you want to market it. Like, for example, I would have, you know, something maybe going out that's going to be promoting a Christmas card or greeting card or something like that. I would want that to go out to those consumers weeks after they've had an opportunity to buy something already that's just a standard fall item. So I think a lot of people get tied up in, well, I need to throw a holiday price list out there, you know, in December or November or October. The more important part is that you throw it out there after they've had a chance to order standard pictures. So as far as timing goes, I would create some cadence to where you're hitting consumers, you know, at least 2 weeks after they've had an opportunity to go out and buy the standard fall package.
I think that's a great goal. And your suggestion earlier too about pairing up, unlocking some of those holiday offers with the prints and the packages, I think is a great suggestion for people who maybe are shooting later into the school year. Something to think about too, for sure, is I would say even maybe a 30-day window between the time that they're open to purchase their print packages. We see that that's really the sales curve. We see those first, 7 to 10 days are the real heavy hitters. And then, but we do see the curve goes up and down, kind of trails off after 30 days. So I would recommend, to your point, maybe 30 days after the initial release. But if that happens to fall in the window of, oh my gosh, it's already time for the holidays, a great suggestion would be pairing that up with some unlocked offers. Also wanted to chat through shipping windows. I know a few of us have talked before about do we say or not say a shipping cutoff is a thing? What are all of your different thoughts on shipping cutoffs and promoting those, and how early do you want to talk about shipping cutoffs if you do decide to talk about those in your marketing?
I don't think you ever cut off shipping. Shipping can take place as long as you're capable of getting it to a carrier. Anytime you promise it, you never know when it's going to get there anymore anyway. So my suggestion is if someone calls you, we can give you a date, like for consumer calls, but to email blast or to send out any communication saying that you have to have orders in by whatever, December the 10th, 12th, I think you're cutting off sales.
You know, we're shipping up until the end of the day on the 23rd. So if it comes in on the 22nd, we're still going to ship it out. So might as well just let them keep going throughout the whole week and not cut them off a week or 2 weeks before time.
Yeah, y'all had that idea when we had some brainstorming before, and I love it. We have a large studio that has been doing that the past couple of years and has seen a really big bump in their sales by not putting a date on it. On the flip side, I do have a lot of people who are asking me even now, what's the holiday cutoff date for Christmas? And I think typically we like to say at least like 2 weeks to be safe. Like Kobe said, at this point, sometimes it's like you don't know who it's in somebody else's hands. It's not ours of getting it there. So I think, people do kind of want that guidance as far as like when might it get to you by Christmas. That being said, the carriers usually do try harder, I think, especially that last week before the holidays to, I've got a friend who's a UPS driver and he said they tell him just clear out that truck, whether it's supposed to get delivered or not. So, there are some good people in the industry there that are still trying to get that stuff to us. But as far as like a safe date, 2 weeks is kind of like what we ballpark. But the lab is slowing down at that time. So like Cruz mentioned, we're able to get stuff out pretty quickly right up until Christmas. So we're going to be able to get it out no matter what the order is, really within like 1 or 2 days max at that time. So people can order right up until the 23rd.
Love that. And I definitely agree with not promising a specific date. I forget who was saying it, but it's in the carrier's hands at that point. You really never know. But I do think it is worth early in the marketing suggesting buying now to ensure, delivery. You don't have to say we have a shipping cutoff or this is the deadline, but I think encouraging ordering to make sure it's in time. But I love the idea of continuing those marketing efforts right up through the holidays to make sure that people continue to order. And you've all seen it. Like you said, you'll see people continue to order for the 23rd, the 24th, 25th. So love that idea to keep that going. On the right-hand side here of this slide, we have just a example of what some of those like marketing schedules could look like. This is something we've put in a lot of our studio's accounts. We're actually suggesting talking about marketing as early November, marketing this as like early holidays, get things to maybe share around the Thanksgiving table, or if you're going to order an ornament or a snow globe or something that you would put out seasonally, you don't want to open that at the end of the season and then use it next year. You want to hang it on your Christmas tree maybe this year, or put something out on your mantle. So order early, get it, enjoy it through the whole season. And then, of course, we've got a whole Cyber Week promotion, thinking about making sure that heavy period of purchasing is really covered all the way through last minute holiday gifts. And we have that targeted all the way through December 25th. So very aligned with what all of you are saying in terms of keeping that marketing going. One thing I wanted to call out too in terms of audiences is making sure that you are targeting buyers, people who have already bought your print packages. Kobe, to your point, we want to make sure that people have seen the print packages, they've had plenty of time to buy, and we don't want to count those people out either. They're probably going to be your biggest vendors. They've already said they like these photos, they've bought print packages. Why wouldn't they be the ones who also want that on a mug, an ornament, etc.? I think plenty of studios often don't want to bother or bug maybe some of their existing purchasers, but definitely recommend weaving them into your holiday marketing schedule, because they, again, will probably be some of your best buyers for these holiday products as well. Any other thoughts? Oh, sorry, go ahead, Nicole.
No, I was going to say, just to that point, I always tell my studios, you never know what is going to resonate with someone. So don't exclude someone from an email just because you think it might not resonate with them, because a buyer who's purchased a package, they might get a holiday email and say, well, you know what? I should grab a digital download so I can include it in my, holiday newsletter or whatever it is to the family. Like, you just kind of have no idea what thought will spark when they receive an email like this. So I think it's really important to give people the opportunity to receive them and have those thoughts if they'd like to. And if they don't want to, they can unsubscribe from the emails, and that's all good too.
Great call. Anyone else have any thoughts on merchandising that they want to share? Great. Well, then we'll go into a little bit of a checklist, just covering some of the things we've talked about already. You'll want to make sure you're deciding what you're selling. Do that, as we said, now. If you haven't already, this is definitely the time to start thinking about it. Get those products ready. Understand your options. Set your pricing. Determine the pricing for each product. Make sure you're getting the margins out of it. Make sure you're promoting the lesser margin items maybe as add-ons to help increase those print packages. Test early and test often. Make sure if you're running anything new that you are testing that with the lab. As Ginny mentioned, 12 ounce versus a 15 ounce mug is a very different product. So make sure that you're going through the strategy there and making sure that looks good. Then build your marketing strategy and your merchandising strategy. You can partner with your Captura account team to help plan how the products will be displayed, how they're bundled, and how they're promoted in your shop. Update your price sheet and your marketing materials. Make sure that you've got the great product descriptions, promotional assets, and that you have all of your emails and SMS ready to go. And then set your promotion timeline. Decide when you're going to start selling and when you're going to have any sort of shipping cutoffs or when you're going to stop talking about the holiday marketing. And then lastly, just have a successful holiday season. We really hope that this conversation maybe sparked some new ideas for you, is really going to be helpful to your holiday season. And yeah, that's all we have for you today. Anybody else on the call have any last thoughts or words of wisdom they want to share with studios as they're preparing for the holiday season?
I don't think so. I think we've covered it. And yeah, just reach out to your lab if you aren't sure about something, if you want to check a size or if you need product pictures or you need help ordering a sample, just reach out to any of your reps at your lab and we can help with that, and your team at Captura as well.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you all to the lab partners. It was really great speaking with all of you. Really appreciate your time, and everyone have a great day.
Yeah, thanks so much, y'all. Have a great
so
day.
much.
Thank you.
Bye, all.
Bye.
Bye.